All right, let's bring in legal spokeswoman for Donald Trump, Alina Habba. Alina, really good to have you. I watched Trump go in. I watched you guys come back out. I watched you go in a second time. On the way out the second time, he was pretty happy. Tell us what happened there.
End of the hearing today. It was obviously a long day. The reason that the president was happy was that the judge indicated something in line with the appellate division that we've been arguing, which is that the appellate division has held that almost 80% of this case has already been decided as outside of the bounds of this court. And he was thrilled because the judge on the bench acknowledged it and said that basically the attorney general had, wasted our day going through something that was outside of this scope. So we were happy to hear that. And as anybody in the courtroom saw, the president gave him a big thumbs up.
So let's take a listen to earlier before that last part. You got something from Palm Beach County, and it kind of pointed the finger at New York. Let's take a listen to the soundbite. Go ahead, guys.
Error in New York civil fraud case against Trump is flagged by industry insiders who say valuation of Mar-a-Lago cited by judge is based on a misunderstanding of basic real estate practice. So they're saying the judge has misunderstood basic real estate practice. I say they're wrong about that. He didn't misunderstand it. This is a rigged court.
Now, that was going in for the second session, and coming out, he was substantially happier. Tell us a little bit about that. There's a lot of finger pointing. Go ahead.
Sure. I said this in my opening statement today in court. What the judge put in his summary judgment decision, which we say is flawed, frankly, and we will say, and we'll deal with it accordingly in due course, is that the tax assessment value that was given to Palm Beach County is just a tax assessment. The tax assessment value by the tax county official is just for tax assessment purposes. That is not the same as market value. And this has been conflated by the court. And that was what we argued. And while we were in court today, the tax assessor, the tax officials from Palm Beach County said we're right. It was for tax assessment. It is not the value of Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago is not worth $18 million. Everybody's been saying that. And this is exactly why there never should have been that decision. This is exactly why there never should have been this case. It's absurd. And anybody to say that there is no question of fact that Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million, I mean, should really examine themselves. I mean, it's absurd. Anybody that's been to Palm Beach, anybody that goes on Trulia and has access to the internet knows that that's completely ridiculous.
It's multiples of that. We get that, but the way I understand the case, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's that the judge is saying that Trump or someone overvalued the properties to get a sweetheart deal on either loans or insurance or lenders, whatever. But I just find it odd that a judge thinks he knows better than the people who made the loans and who gave you the insurance.
And disregarded experts. Yeah, exactly, Eric. There were expert opinions that we didn't get to put on trial. There were decisions like that. And I have to address this one common misconception in the press. And unfortunately, it just keeps getting repeated, which is that we had this great option to have a box checked for a jury. No, we didn't have that. That's not how this works. They brought it under Section 6312, which is a very narrow, not appropriately used section of the law, which is for consumer protections, not this. And that is why we're sitting here in front of a judge dealing with values of property where real estate, anybody with real estate brains, anybody with real estate experience, even laymen can understand that a tax assessment is not the same as the market value of your property, period.
And the point being, the only harm that could have come to anyone were the lenders, the insurers, and they're like, no, we're fine with this. This really feels like they're just going after Trump, not because someone was harmed, they just want to go after Trump.
They're more than fine. They made some banks over $100 million in interest. The banks were paid back in full. There was absolutely no defaults, no notices of default. Every loan was paid back and paid back sometimes early. This is a joke. The city of New York is falling apart, and we have an AG attacking Trump from before she was even in office because it's a political ambition of hers. That's why the podium was ready for her. Frankly, I wasn't going to speak outside today, but then I saw that and we said, nope, we're not doing this.
So
you're making it political, and it shouldn't be. And courtrooms really should not be, but they keep becoming that way because he's the leading candidate, and they don't know how to stop him without attacking him in the courtroom. They just don't.
Courtrooms have become political. They've become political because attorneys general and prosecutors have become DAs have become very political. Alina, before we let you go, roll some of that video of this judge smiling when the camera went out. How in the world, how'd that make you guys feel when you saw this right here? Go ahead.
Well, I'm an attorney on the case. I obviously am not going to speak to what is obvious. I think the video speaks for itself, frankly, Eric. And I've been in this case now going on, it's been a couple years of dealing with this. So hopefully the world is now seeing it. I'm grateful that there were cameras to show what is happening inside these courtrooms. And America needs to wake up and realize that they keep getting these headlines acting like this is some fraudulent company when they are absolutely not. What is fraudulent, what is corrupt is our legal system right now, and it's frightening.
Seeing him laugh like that just made me realize this is all for show. This is all political. This isn't about jurisprudence whatsoever. And then if Letitia James sitting in the courtroom staring you guys down, I mean, wow, this is theater. Alina, final thought.
Yeah, it's a disgrace to our legal system. It's a disgrace to our country. I wish we could just get back to focusing on our country, focusing on our children, focusing on the things that are truly important, not taking away an American story of success by a family that has done a lot of good for the state of New York and a lot of good for this country. It's really sad. And unfortunately, they're trying to drag the kids into it as well. There are no bounds to what the radical left will do, and I think we're witnessing it as a country, and we've got to make it stop.
Very, very quickly, before I let you go, there's something like $275 million was a potential judgment against Trump. Has this been reduced given what happened at the end of today?
I can tell you that it was reduced in the appellate division in June, which is what we keep arguing. The appellate division decided that this is a much smaller, narrower case, and this is not being acknowledged. Today, as we said, we did see a little bit of acknowledgement on that, and I'm happy for it. But the world needs to understand a couple things. We couldn't check a box for a jury. This is the judge we got because we're in the wrong division, because they brought it under Section 6312. And they have to understand that the $250 million is frankly less than that man's net worth on a bad day, half a day, an hour. You saw it today. They put up his statements of financial condition. The guy didn't need loans. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars in some of the worst times this country has seen. This is an absolute witch hunt, in President Trump's words.
And it continues, folks. Alina Habba, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.